Good morning, everybody. I'm Jill, and behind the steering wheel of Henry is Roger, and we are which way now? Now, we decided to leave Brittany because the weather, as you can see, is absolutely vile. We've been driving for nearly 2 hours and it has been raining the whole time. We're now heading south and we really hope the weather improves very soon because this is horrible. We've never driven in weather like this through France before, ever, at this time of year. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but it's crazy. It really is crazy. So we will update you a little bit later on, I think. So it seems like the rain has kind of stopped, which is great. We've come off the motorway and we're now doing the last 100k because we are going to try and stay in our very first air. Now, I've got a big book that says the 500 best airs in France. It's not in the book, which is a bit of a worry, but we have been recommended this air by a few other people. So hopefully when we get there it'll be nice and there'll be enough room for us because apparently it's only got 30 spaces, so we'll have to wait and see, but we'll video when we get there. So we're just coming into the village and we're trying to find this Airs for us to stay at tonight. It's the end of August and it's about 12 o'clock, and so it'll be very interesting to see if there's any spaces in this Air. So we'll wait and see. We're looking for a little motorhome camping car sign. We're meant to be taking the next right, I think it is. So yes, it'll be very interesting to see. There, Roger, there, down there, down there. Go to the right, by the look of it. And to the... oh no, I don't know whether that's right or not. No, keep going, I think keep going, according to this. Yeah, keep going. Oh no, it wasn't. Oh dear. Now we have to turn around, sorry, that was my fault. Very strange that this Air should be in the middle of a housing estate, but we kind of did know that it was a bit like that. First time we've had to turn around today anyway, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And never having been to an Air before, they might all be in housing estates, we don't know.
Yeah, indeed, we don't know. Looks like it could be coming up because I can see quite a few camper vans. Yep, I can see quite a few camper vans, so it looks like this is it here. So if you go right, I'm assuming, yeah.
So it's one way.
Yeah. Lots of space, which is good. Not too many people parked in here, which is super. We haven't actually seen a petrol, which is a shame because we kind of wanted a garage, but there you go. Lots of space, which is nice. Should we park on the end or not?
Just here?
Yeah, I think so.
Reverse in?
Yeah, I think so.
And I'll go this side because the door is on.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I need to go the other side, don't I? Better. Door's on this side.
It looks nice and quiet anyway, doesn't it? So
It does.
have to see what it's like, but... and then we need to see if we're level or not. So we've parked up in our Airs, and the great news about this is that it's actually free to park here. Apparently quite a few villages and towns have free Airs on the edge of them, and this one is on the edge of Oradour-sur-Glane, and we're here to see a village that was basically the inhabitants were killed by the Nazis. So that's going to be quite interesting, a bit sad but quite interesting later on as well. But this Air, it doesn't have any electricity, but it does have, oh, it actually does have electricity over there. You can see there's two vans over there. It has water. You can pay for electricity and water, but only for, I think you can pay for 100 litres of water and you can pay for electricity for an hour, I think. And you have to move your van if you want to have that, but we're quite self-contained, so we don't need any of those things. But actually it's a beautifully peaceful spot. and we're hoping for a good night's sleep before we set off in the morning to the south of France. And it's not raining at the moment either. As you can see, I have on my shorts, my short skirt and my t-shirt, and I've not got wet today yet. Who'd have thought it? So we've left Henry in the Airs, and as I said in the van, this is the reason we're here. This is the village where 642 people were actually murdered by the Nazis, seemingly for no reason at all. I'm sure we're going to find out more as we go in, but it already feels like it's going to be a very moving place to come and see. So we've just visited the village of Oradour-sur-Glane. This was, it is the remnants of an old village that were here. And basically on the 10th of June 1944, every single inhabitant of that village except one was massacred by the Nazis. So 643 people were killed. And this is the memorial centre behind me here. We spent a couple of hours wandering around the village, and it was very, very interesting, incredibly moving, quite harrowing in places. And it is basically left exactly as it was on the day that everybody died. And so you've got cars, you've got bicycles, you've got sewing machines, all kinds of things that just everyday villages would have had. And the whole point is it was a village just like many, many others in France at the time. And what happened at about 2 o'clock that day, the SS turned up and they set up machine gun posts around the village. And they rounded everybody up into one place in the village, and they then divided up the men and the women. And the women and the children were sent off to the church, and the men were separated into different groups and sent around the village. And at about 3:30, the women were locked in the church, and at 4 o'clock there was a big explosion, and that was the signal for all of the machine gunners to start shooting the men. And the men basically were shot in cold blood. And then at 5 o'clock, they put a little box in the back of the church which had wires coming out of it, and they lit the wires and the box started to smoke. And the women were so panicked by this that they all started to try and get out of the church. And so they either died from lethal smoke or they died from being machine gunned, because as soon as they opened the door there were machine gunners standing there. And everybody died except one person. And I have to say the guilt that must be surrounding that person, the survivor's guilt, must be absolutely terrible. As I say, it was incredibly moving. And it was Charles de Gaulle who wanted to preserve this village because he wanted to actually try and remember the barbaric acts that man can do to each other in times of war. And I would say if you're in this part of the world, then do come and have a look. Although it's a strange thing to say, it is definitely worth a visit. It didn't cost us anything to go into the village at all. It's definitely worth a visit, and yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's definitely good for a couple of hours of thought-provoking visits. So when we walked past here earlier, we saw this pizza machine, and Roger thought he really had to try it because we've never heard of a pizza machine at home. So here goes. So I have to change my language because I don't really understand French that well. So let's go for English. Place my order. That's what we want. I want to continue as a guest. Okay, so now you've got to choose what you're going to have, Roger. Are you going to have 4 cheese?
I'll go for a hot.
A hot? No, I think that just means that's hot. Tomato, ham. I was going to say that doesn't.
No, okay.
So you've got chorizo, you've got burger, you've got barbecue, prosciutto, bolognese.
I'll go for a hot chorizo.
Okay, fine. Ready to eat. Yep. So we want one of those.
One of those.
Okay.
Continue. This should be ready
Cold
in.
choice. We want hot though, don't we? Continue. Cart has been. No, thank you.
What did we say? 3 minutes, is this?
It does say 3 minutes for hot.
3 minutes for hot.
Okay, right. So 11.50, so I need to pay. No, thank you. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to pay. Thank you. I think that's gone through.
And we'll see what it's like in 3 minutes' time.
So according to this timer, we've now got 27 seconds left, but actually this didn't start. I'd paid, and there was lots of noises coming from the machine before the countdown even started. So I would say it's more like 5 minutes for 2 pizzas. It does say here, 2 pizzas, 3 minutes. I would have said it's more like 5 minutes after you've paid. But we'll have to see, because according to this, we've now got 12 seconds left. We don't know if it's going to come out of there or there, but it certainly smells like pizza, which is good news anyway. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there you go. Feels warm. Looks quite like a pizza.
Excellent.
So Roger got his pizza, and now he's going to try it.
So, moment of truth. Oh, it's not cut up, but that's fine.
Got a knife. You're just going to tear.
I'll just tear.
God, he's a man. He's going to rip his pizza into pieces.
That's actually quite good.
That gets a thumbs up from you, does it?
It does, very nice.
Good. So pizza machine, definitely a winner. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and send us a comment.